time to start moving some metal around. I over the weekend I got it in the ribs. I used some 30mm by 3mm flat bar, bent it to shape and welded in, and then put flatter foam in, and it's worked unreal. It's supported the roof so much. I've still got the right amount of flex, but it's not bowing and going all crazy and that sort of thing. So now that I've gone around with that little attachment on my EasyBee and bought all the little highs up, I can start actually moving metal around. Everything's ready to go. So I'm going to start on this spot here. Was always the worst spot. So this is where I'm going to start. The rest is actually really good. It's so close. So what I'm going to use, I'm just going to use a dolly and a slapper. No hammer at this stage. I don't really think it's going to need it, to be honest. I think I can move enough around with the slapper because I can sort of push and scoop, and also being a file slapper, it's it'll keep it taut. It won't sort of let it get real sort of tin canny or anything like that. So the shape is the same as it was before, still, but just higher. It's sort of that teardrop shape, but it's really tight, so we want to sort of keep it that way. The rib is about here, so, and another one about here, so I'm sort of in the middle of it. I'm going to try and use those two areas that are now strong to play off it and to hold this in position and not creep across the rib. If it was reversed and you could see it, it would go over to here. I want to keep this spot here and that spot there. I'm going to do it sort of in a grid pattern, I think, and sort of work it that way and just sort of contain everything. So all I'm doing, I've got a toe dolly here. I left my big one at work, but what I'm going to do is I'm just supporting it. I'm not pushing up too much. I do have a little bit of upwards force, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sort of do this action and scoop it. So I'm scooping where I feel it's high around the edge into the middle. So I'm going to fill that void, or that sort of crater, with the outer material, and sort of pull it all in together so that then becomes your uniform sort of height right across. So it's real simple. I'm not using heaps of force. I'm just sort of using the weight of the slapper and that little bit upwards force. And I'm hitting it so that surface is hitting dead flat. I'm not hitting on an angle like that. You just do more damage on the back end of it. You need to keep it flat, and you need to be aware of where you want to push the material. So in this case, I'm starting close to the edge and I'm pushing it into this center because it's about here. So slowly, and you'll hear that bell ring. You know, you want that contact. I'm not doing off dolly on this. I don't need to do off dolly. It's on dolly action. I'm just bringing it up. I'm slowly moving sort of in this direction. And constantly feeling what's going on. Doesn't take a whole heap of hit. You don't have to use a whole heap of force with your slapper. You want to slowly move it. There's no rush. You know, we don't want to go rushing it and have a massive sort of stretched area, and then you're sort of really fighting to get it back. You just want to take your time. And especially when you're this close, you don't want to go overdoing it and then be well back before you even started taking the slapper to the roof. I'm sort of just moving the dolly along with it, so I'm guiding that with that ring bell sound. I'm moving with it so I can hear it, and I know I'm not doing off dolly work because I don't want to do off dolly on this. You'd be surprised how much material you can move just by doing that. Well, that's already up, really nice. It's just slow. You just need to feel the surface and see how it's reacting, and change your course of action for that. And that's really it. I mean, that's the basics of it. There's no crazy technique to it. It's just about your two-hand coordination and your dexterity with it. You know, you want to make sure you're always on the ring bell. You want to make sure you're always feeling in that asterisk pattern. Because there is a curve, you'll never get a true reading just by feeling in one way. You want to keep changing directions with your hand, a little couple of taps at a time, and then just slowly make your way throughout the whole thing. It's and that's the process. So that'll be me for the next good week, I would say. And then we can get some epoxy down and just block it and see where we're at. And hopefully it's not too bad. I mean, I'll make the call then if I want to sort of do a little bit more sort of slapper work, but hopefully we get it pretty close. And that'll be it.